Hello guys and welcome to Clean and Sober, where we journey together towards a life of sobriety and wellness. I'm Christian, here to inspire and guide you with stories, tips and a whole lot of heart. Let's dive into today's topic and take another step forward in our journey to a healthier life. Alcohol is unique among drugs, being the only one where society often expects you to justify not using it. Picture this, you're out with friends and you decide not to drink. Invariably, someone might urge, come on, just one for tonight. Contrast this with other addictions like painkillers. No one would casually suggest you to take just one more. But here's the twist. There are entities ranking in billions from your drinking habits. Imagine being born into a world where you're immediately asked to sign a contract. This contract demands $400,000 of your lifetime earnings. Pledges you to sap your energy, harm your health, strain your relationships, and potentially shorten your life by decades in return. Absolutely nothing. You'd never sign it, right? Yet by conforming to societal drinking norms, we unwittingly agree to these terms. But here's the empowering truth. Tearing up the metaphorical contract is surprisingly straightforward. By choosing not to drink, you're not just saving money, you're reclaiming your health, energy, and relationships. You're investing in a richer, fuller life. The only downside, not for you, but for those profiting from the alcohol industry. They lose out when you opt for a healthier path. But that's their loss, not yours. By rejecting alcohol, you're not just making a personal choice, you're taking a stand against the system that profits from our vulnerabilities. So make the bold decision today. Reject the societal pressure to drink, embrace a life of clarity, health, and true freedom. Your best self awaits on the other side of that choice. Let's rewrite the narrative and show the world that living alcohol-free isn't just possible, it's a path to a more vibrant, fulfilling life.
I don't think I've ever been this hungover.
In your late 20s, you stopped drinking.
Stop drinking, yeah.
Very difficult?
No, beautiful. Unbelievable.
Better.
Oh, are you kidding? I would never be sitting here with you. No way, no chance.
Because?
Because I wouldn't have been able to have access to myself or other people, or even been able to take in other people if I hadn't changed my life. No way. And I never would have been able to have relationships that I do. I never would have been able to take care of my father the way I did when he was sick. So many things.
Thank you, Bradley. Bradley just put his daughter to bed and rushed over here to do this. He's a sweetheart. I got sober because of this guy, and every day has been happier ever since.
What I realized was I was running to things to avoid tough feelings, painful feelings. I just didn't know how to deal with them, and looking for anything I found that I use for escape, those kinds of, I guess, difficult feelings. I don't know how better to describe it. I mean, that can be anything. That can be drugs, booze, Netflix, snacks, anything. I don't want to, at this point, to be running from anything. I want to sit in it, I want to feel it, I want to get through the rough night. And I found in doing so, you come out the other side with a more profound understanding of yourself, a greater gratefulness for those in your life, and the birds and the trees and everything else.
I want to live my sober life. I don't want to die. I'm on the verge of dying because I'm a vicious alcoholic, and God, this is some interesting stuff, but I haven't took drugs in 6 days. And for me, that's a miracle. I've been lying to everybody else and think I'm sober. Nah, this is my 6th day. I'm never going to use again.
It was more just that I lost everything. Like
Oh, you did?
I mean, I was practically homeless. Like,
How old were you when you
I was 24 when I
stopped
got
drinking?
sober. But, you know, I came out of school and I had wanted to be, you know, it's a funny thing too with the hubris of youth and of me in particular, like I came out of school thinking that I would come to New York, and New York would be like, oh, now we understand, like, welcome. And New York was like, what? Like, and I was a big failure early on with like I had a theater company, I had all these artistic pretensions, and I basically wound up not being able to make any money, people not liking anything that I did, and just being, practically kicked out of my apartment, unable to support myself, unable to hold down like a waiting tables job. My friends all started to abandon me because I was a very angry and horrible human being to be around. And then finally, like my girlfriend, who I never thought would leave me, like left me. And so I just got to this point, and I was about to be kicked out of my apartment.
What were your parents in all this?
They were like helping, like my mom was helping me like on the down low, like kind of giving me money, but they were kind of getting sick of me too. I mean, it was awful. It's that awful thing that you hear every alcoholic talk about. And if they don't talk about it, they're lying. Like you just become an awful human being. Like you just, you're selfish.
Was there a moment that was like the crystallizing, like, oh yeah?
Yeah, I mean, I was gonna kill myself. And then,
really?
I did, oh yeah, but I didn't have the, I'm gonna say courage to do it. Like I didn't have I had a cat, and this is a funny thing, where like, I actually had a baby cat. And I remember reading somewhere that if there's a dead body in an apartment, because I didn't have any friends too, so my body would have stayed in the apartment for maybe weeks, and nobody would have discovered. But I paid my rent, and I was like, apparently dogs won't eat you, but cats will eat you. They will eat your body if they run out of food. And I was like, wow, like I don't want my poor cat to like, you know what I mean? And so I was like, so that was the moment where I was like,
are you telling me that if you didn't have a cat in your house, you would have killed yourself?
Maybe. I mean, that could have been a ruse. But I did wake up the next morning, and I had a friend who'd been sober for 1,000,000 years, and I called him and I was like, hey man, like, my life's in trouble. And he was like, why don't you get sober? And I was like, no, man. It's like I just need a new girlfriend. Like no, I need a girlfriend. He was like, why don't you get sober? And I was like, no, man. I just need a new job. If I get a job. And he's like, why don't you get sober? And I was like, no, man, it's the jelly donuts. Like, I gotta stop eating the jelly donuts, and then I'll be fine. He was like, why don't you get sober? And I was like, maybe I'll get sober. And it just broke, and I went to a meeting, and then it is that thing where it's just, your life just changed, and people are nice to you finally when like no one's been nice to you.
I would call it a problem. It's now not a problem. I drank in search of happiness and in search of a lifestyle that I thought would bring me to happiness. It didn't, and I woke up one morning going, wow, I've drank a lot, but I'm still not happy. What's that about? And now we're about a year and a half later, and my life has turned around immeasurably. It's a wonderful thing, and I say to anybody watching or listening to this that it's that there is a lot of pressure on young people not to drink necessarily, but to find happiness through going out and getting mashed, and that's fun, and you have a good time, and good luck to you. But if it doesn't work for you, and if you keep waking up going, I don't seem to be having nearly as good time as most of my friends, then think about it. It doesn't have to be something you do, is all I'd say to people. I think, in fact, that's one of the things that is most frustrating in a way, is the fact that there is such an expectation that we should all just be happy. And it doesn't matter if you're financially very, very well off and have and I'm incredibly grateful for that and so unbelievably lucky. But at the same time, that doesn't solve all of life's problems. There is still other stuff, and it's mainly just my own head is trying to, I'm not going crazy one day at a time. That's my mission at the moment.
It does mask the pain while you're doing it. But when you wake up the next day, you're even more depressed than you started. Because whatever is in the alcohol puts you in a bad state afterwards. And I just spiraled out of control. I didn't care. I didn't want to live. I'd lost the passion to live. This went on for 18 months.
Wow.
Of me battling my own self every day, drinking, abusing my body, eating rubbish, taking drugs. I ain't going out for a few beers and coming home. I can't tell you in words how I felt, how down I was. But every time I got drunk, I'd come home and I'd say, right, I'm starting training in the morning, regain mission. I'm going to be the heavyweight champion of the world again, and you watch.
You were 400 pounds.
400 pounds. That was the man who called Wolf 1,000 times. Phone all my friends up, phone chain up, get them all going, come on, we've got to do it Monday. Monday had come, no, I do not want to box anymore, finished. Turning point was, I went out Halloween, dressed as a skeleton in a fancy dress party. I went out about 9 o'clock and I expected to stay out all night and get smashed. I had one drink. I looked around me and I thought, what am I doing? And I said to myself, you're telling me that you would rather be here with a load of kids half your age? Because I feel like the old person now when I go out. I'm 30. Yeah. They're all 18 and like, I know it's 21 over here, but over home it's 18. They're all at 18, 19, 20, 21. And I'm like the old guy in the disco popping around. Is this what you really want when you've got a family at home and you're depriving your kids and your wife of quality time? I come back, I went upstairs to my room. I got down, I took the skeleton suit off and I got down on my knees. And I was in a dark room on my own. And I was praying to God to help me. I was begging, there was tears rolling down my face because I knew I couldn't do it alone. I was down there praying at least 10 minutes. And I'm an emotional wreck. My shirt's wet, I feel all my chest all wet. Crying my eyes out like a baby. And I got up off my knees and I felt a weight lifted off my shoulders. And I called out to my wife, I said, Paris here. She said, what? I said, tomorrow. I said, I start to turn my life around. She said, yeah, I've heard it all before, because I'm the man who cried wolf 1,000 times. I said, I promise you. I said, I'm going to do it. I'm definitely going to do it. And nobody believed me. But I knew I had a smile on my face, twinkle in my eye, and I knew I had to get that weight off. By the way, at this time, I was looking at a 12-year ban. I'd failed 2 drugs tests for cocaine. Because all the time I was out, I was still doing random drugs tests. The British Boxing Board of Control had suspended my licence. I was deemed medically unfit to fight by the leading psychiatrist in the country. And I had millions of pounds, millions of dollars in lawyers' fees to pay on ongoing battle in court cases. But I am so confident that I'm going to come back and everything's going to be swept away. From that day, I got my tracksuit on in the morning and I was going to run 2 miles. I got about 200 yards and stopped. And I thought, right, I can't run. I've run all my life, I've always been a very good runner. And I got 200 yards and I was totally gone. I could feel my belly moving on it. It wasn't like a fat like jelly, it was like solid brick. It was a horrible feeling. I thought, okay, I'm going to walk the rest, and I walked. And while I was walking, I was on my phone and I saw a little video from Deontay Wilder. And he said, Tyson Fury let himself down, let his family down. He said, he's that fat, he'd never come back. He said, and I'm glad he's gone because I knocked him out anyway. Just rambling on nonsense, yeah. And I thought to myself, you know what? I'm going to give it you proper. You're my motivation now. I'm coming back to get you. And every day I'd go out on the canal and I'd do a little run in my swimsuit. And every day I'd get a little bit further until I was doing 4 and 5 mile again. I went to the Boxing Board of Control and said, well, I want my licence back, I'm going to make a comeback. They said, right, you need to pass the same person who made you medically unfit. You've got to go and get medically fit. And if that doctor makes you medically fit, mentally and physically, then we haven't got a problem with it. I said, fine. So I went and saw all the psychiatrists and everybody. I saw Dr. Phil, Dr. Martin, all these people. They said, excellent. Perfect. He said, no problem. Stamp, bang, bang, bang. Every one of them deemed me medically well and everything was back to normal. I just had £400 a shift. Goes, I said, there you go, bang, reissue my licence. Thank you very much. They had a board meeting, a high board meeting, and they said, right, approved. Bang, reinstated my licence. Couldn't believe it. Everything that I had obstacle against me was now gone. I was on a clear running path. Only had to lose some weight. Now, and then I come back and I worked my way back, and we worked repetitively, day in, day out, day in, day out. And at that time, and I'd had that first fight, lovely. I felt like a fish back in the ocean. And I've never looked back since. I've never had no more mental health problems since, praise the Lord.
You suffer enough that something inside you goes, I'm done. And I'm like lucky, because I hit that point before I lost really the things that were the most important, which were not my career or money, it was my relationship with my kids. And when I felt as if it impacted them, I recognized it. It was the worst day of my life. I made amends. And I, for a while, I thought maybe this is temporary. Maybe this feeling is going to go away. But since that day, I swear to Christ, I have not ever wanted to drink once. Ever. Wow. So it's the easiest thing in the world. Because every time I think about it, I'm just like, holy shit, that's the worst idea in the world. I don't want that. I can't do that. And that's the piece that people find. So now I'm that asshole who's like, I'm grateful. I learned a lot. I actually got to be a better person through this process, and I've lost the obsession.
You do stupid things when you're drunk. You hurt yourself. You compromise your health. It's really hard on the people around you. You tend to turn into a liar, and it screws up your life.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, but it's pretty fun. Yeah, well, it is. But you need something better than that. And what's better isn't being straight and not making mistakes. It's like that's all prohibition in some sense. What's better is, no, you need an adventure, man. You need to get out there and have something to do.
Yeah.
And something worth waking up for. And that's the substitute for the addiction.
And that's a wrap for today's episode on Clean and Sober. I hope this video has sparked some inspiration and offered you a new perspective on your journey to a healthier, alcohol-free lifestyle. Remember, every step you take towards your sobriety is a step towards a more vibrant and fulfilling life. If you found value in this video, please give it a thumbs up and share it with anyone who might benefit from our community's support and stories. Don't forget to subscribe and hit that notification bell to stay updated with all our latest content. I'm Christian, your guide and companion on this journey. Your stories, your successes, and even your struggles, they all matter here at Clean and Sober. Together we are building a community of strength and hope, so keep pushing forward, keep striving for better, and remember, you're not alone in this. Stay strong, guys, stay sober, and you'll see in the next video.